There's a short story about a guy who's dumping his fiance after multiple situations where she's absolutely crossed respectable boundaries. And it's a perfect example, gentlemen, of why you must establish boundaries early on, make it clear, and enforce them. And if they are broken, boom, you leave right then and there. Because if you stick around when somebody's disrespecting you or crossing your obvious boundaries and you let it go, it's only going to continue. And a lot of times these gals know they're acting in the wrong, and because you don't check them, you don't act like a man, stand up for yourself, they'll keep doing it just to, essentially in a way punish you, penalize you for doing such a thing. But this guy here finally sees the light. Titled, Am I the A-hole for breaking up with my fiance for when she gets drunk and touchy with other men? He says here, hello. I'm 30 years old and been in a relationship with my fiance, Kay, who's 25 for 6 years. I'm not going to call her Kay, I'm going to call her Kelly. We met young during lockdown and we're just perfect for each other. Like any couple, we had our issues. With me being friends with people I've slept with prior to my relationship with Kelly, a major fighting point. We were just friends, and said friends are not even in the same country that I live in, but Kelly has always made it an issue. I was her second real intimacy, and she just couldn't understand how you can just be friends. Okay, well that is a legitimate issue on her part. I got no problem if she has an issue with him talking to former girlfriends and lovers and stuff like that, because if you're with her, you're not talking to the exes. Because as a guy, you can't tell your girl she shouldn't be talking to or hanging out with her exes. So I have no problem there. But I do have a problem with how she behaves. Soon. After a lot of back and forth, I completely cut the said problematic friends out. I stopped messaging and fully blocked, but it still wasn't enough. Kelly insists she just can't forget that I hurt her by having them as friends after she expressed how our friendship hurt her. Well, then you should have broke it up, but instead you stayed together and she's being passive-aggressive with what she does. I fast forward to the last 2 years and things have spiraled. Whenever Kelly gets drunk, she gets touchy with other men and women and makes it a point to disrespect me to my face. That ain't good. This is her passive-aggressive crap being mad at you for talking to those girls. And I want to point out, he did cut the women out of his life, so that's good. But still, unacceptable. She will seductively dance with men or kiss random women. And you still are with her, dude? Smack! I've told her I don't like it, made it clear that I will not allow such behavior, and this weekend was the last straw. We had absolutely no problems and had a very good evening before she blacked out, and brought another man to our table after I specifically asked her not to do that, as we don't know him and gave him many shots, or gave him my shots. If she has a problem when she drinks and blacking out and doing stupid shit, then she shouldn't be drinking, period. And if she's doing this crap when he's there, in front of him, what does she do when he's not there? I walked up to where she was across the club and asked her to come back to our table without the stranger. She said the said stranger put his hands around her waist and said, I'm with her. The stranger really said that, even though, no, this guy's her fiance, I would have been like, she's all yours. Or he's all yours too, honey. And I walk away and dump her. To which she replied, he is with me, and walked away from me with her arms around the guy. Whoa! Talk about disrespect. Unacceptable. This is not the first time she's gotten blackout drunk and did disrespectful shit. But this was truly the cream of the crop. I silently deleted pictures of my Instagram and didn't speak to her for 3 days before I snapped when she sent me a message. We lived together, asking why I didn't tell her we were broken up. It's happened so much that I think it's a pattern, and I finally snapped and kicked her out. Well, good you kicked her out. It's about freaking time, but smack for allowing it that long. Even with her, 6 years? This has been going on 6 years? Are you out of your mind? Absolutely, she has no respect for him. Women don't love a guy they don't respect, therefore she doesn't love you. She's probably monkey branching finding her guy. Or this is just passive-aggressive anger about you, once having communication with your exes. Her defense is always, I don't remember, and I regret doing those things that you're telling me I did. She claims to have some residual internal anger towards me from the last couple of years, the hurts that she's endured. What I tell about passive aggression. Guys, you get a girlfriend's passive aggressive, break up with them. A gal that can't communicate something they're upset about in a way that you understand, but instead lets it bottle up and let shit slide and then punishes you later, it's a terrible thing. I never cheated on her physically, but she argues that by speaking to those friends that I emotionally cheated. There was a time I did send some suggestive message to a female friend, but again, she doesn't live anywhere close, and I was angry and very drunk. Well, that ain't cool. You just gave her the justification to do that. Both these two are bad together. Nothing came from it. I apologize, but I'm continuously reminded of it. Yeah, passive aggressive. I don't think she respects me. No shit, genius. Once sober, we have had what many term a very good relationship, but there are things she does do and say, even after we specifically talk about it, why it doesn't make me feel respected or might not be good for a relationship. I don't think I'll ever love someone like her again, but if I keep putting up with being disrespected, I feel as though I'll start cheating, and it's not who I am. I'd rather keep my morals and start reaching out to women based on how she behaves. Well, bro, you should have broken up with her years ago. She's passive aggressive. She's a drunk. She can't control alcohol. And what does she do when you're not around? I can't begin to imagine. You think she's showing disrespect? Now, I mean, God, she probably has Chad and Tyrone's you-know-what in her mouth when he's not around. Am I the a-hole for believing that your partner should never want to disrespect your union, especially in public? As this is what happens when I'm there, what happens when she goes out alone? Am I being paranoid, and should I really call off the marriage over this? Dude, you're not the a-hole. You're the a-hole for talking to other chicks and sending suggestive messages to them when you're in a relationship with her. That makes you an a-hole. But you're an a-hole, but you've been with her this long. My God, dude. Years of this disrespect? The first time she did that shit, you should have been out of there. And not even give her a second chance, because that shows her character. The first time that she did, instead of communicating with you and solving a problem that you both walk away and you're okay, that she has to passive-aggressively punish you down the road. That's a terrible situation. You should have ended it then. And instead, you wasted all this time. This is who she is, and she's never going to change. This is not girlfriend material. It sure as ain't wife material. So, yes, it's the right thing to do to end it with her. And if she has a problem with it, your friends and family have a problem with it, tough crap. But you, man, need to learn to stand up for your fucking self. Now, I want to be a lesson to all you. Now, comments. One guy says here, I had a girlfriend who did this shit. I stayed with her for 3 years. It was the lowest point of my life, and the smartest thing I ever did was get away from her. I had a friend recently text me that she was blacked out at the bar, and some old dude was all over her. We broke up like 5 years ago, and she's still doing the same stupid shit. See? Once a cheater, always a cheater. These people don't change. But now I get to just laugh about it because it's not my problem anymore. Move on. Don't ever let her back in your life. Don't ever look back. Stay strong, brother. Exactly. So all you can do is move on and learn from his mistakes. Guys, we're always going to make mistakes. That's just how it is. That's life. But if you learn from them, okay, no big deal. If you keep making the same mistakes, then number one, you're a dumbass, but number two, you're going to keep suffering. Another one, this guy says, not the a-hole, but when your fiancé tells you she's with another guy with his hands on her, your reaction should not be, anyway, start with silently deleting photos and giving her the silent treatment for days. It should have been ring back, we're done, and making it so there and then. You never mention if she even came back to your shared home or when following leaving with another guy. Yeah, anyway, that whole, fine, I'm deleting pictures and I'm blocking you. No, you should have ended it right there and there. But you can tell this guy's not confrontational. And guys, you have to have the ability to be confrontational when necessary. I'm not talking around, going around picking fights to prove how tough you are. That means you're a fucking jerk off. But when somebody wrongs you, girlfriend, wife, or somebody in public, a guy, whatever, you need to stand up for yourself. Otherwise, people will be walking all over you the rest of your life. And one more says, absolutely not the a-hole. I understand that she may have felt disrespected that you remained friends with people you previously slept with. You believe that because you were in a different country, you couldn't cheat anyway. If they were in the same country, would it be a different story? The truth is, you still kept in contact and was emotionally attached to them. That hurts, as she no doubt felt like you were rubbing in her nose. Depends on how he was doing it. That said, two wrongs do not make a right, and boy, was her actions wrong, drunk or not. Her defense is she doesn't remember. If she's getting that drunk that she doesn't remember on a regular basis is dangerous. Or does she remember really? Was she trying to make you feel how she felt? In reality, she should have broken up with you when you continued disrespecting her by corresponding with these so-called friends that you slept with. Incidentally, when you shared some suggestive text with a female that you had a similar excuse, you were drunk and angry. Your ex was drunk with residual anger. Time to grow up. You two obviously weren't meant to be together. Keep this a clean break with no contact. That's a good point. He did mention that when he reached out to that ex and he says suggestive stuff, he was drunk too. Look at these two assholes when they drink. So, she's the bigger a-hole in this story, but he's not perfect. He's no saint. So, guys, yeah, two wrongs don't make a right. You get a tumultuous relationship like this, it's time to walk away. But you guys cannot let crap slide. You got to have boundaries and prepare to walk if said boundary is crossed. I hope this guy learns.